What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. First things first, I went and bought 90 rated Alexis Sanchez for 1.1 something million. I think I'll show it on the screen in just a second, but that there on the screen is the team that I'm using. Interestingly, at the end or throughout the middle of the next episode, I sold him on again. The reason why I'm telling you this now is because I want to talk about how interesting my team is without him. When I sold him back again, Hazard went back to striker and Son went back in at left forward. And at that point, everyone in the team is first owner, with exception of Chris Smalling and David De Gea. In fact, most of them are untradeable. Winston Reid and Gael Clichy are untradeable. Pack pulled. And interestingly, today in real life, as the time I'm recording this, Gael Clichy scored for Man City in a big win for them. So we might be seeing an informed Gael Clichy, which would be brilliant, absolutely magnificent. I spoke in previous episodes about my mismanagement of coins, and the reason why I mismanage them throughout this series right now, I think, is because they're so easy to come by. You know, like I'm making at least 70 to 100,000 coins from FUTChamps alone, and that's even if I finish gold 1 and get 50,000 coins, which I did 2 weekends this month. I still make around 30 to 40,000 coins from match coins. So we're getting like at least 70,000 coins from a FUTChamps run every weekend, plus the packs. You know, I've finished over this course of the 5 weeks. This is obviously the 5th week. We haven't finished yet in the video sense of things. But the first 4 weeks, I got Elite 1, Gold 1, and Elite 2. So I've got 4 really good finishes. Elite 1 was 125k coins. The 2 Gold 1 finishes was another 100k coins between them, and then the Elite 2 finish was 70,000 coins. Or is Elite 2 100,000 coins? Elite 2 is 100,000 coins. That's correct, yeah. So I basically got 325,000 coins this month alone, not taking into consideration the 160 games that I played, which is worth about 120,000 coins. So we made almost 500,000 coins without taking into consideration what we got from the packs. Yet I don't have that to show because I'm an idiot. Because I waste my coins. Most of my money gets lost on tax right now, trying new players and stuff like that. And I want to fix that. I want to fix that going forwards. I want to be far more, like right at the start of FIFA, the first sort of like 8 weeks, I was so strict with what I bought and when and why, that I end up gaining so many coins so quickly because I would play with a team. I wouldn't, you know, there's no need for me to like try this guy or try that guy or buy this guy. You know, 2 weekend leagues ago when I had a bad start in the weekend league, I ended up buying Inform Alaba, Sergio Ramos, and David De Gea, I think, and it was just stupid. I sold them within 3 games. I lost so much coins on them. I've bought and sold Sergio Ramos about 4 times now, always buying him for around 120 and always selling him for between 100 and 110. So I've lost at least, say, 30 to 40,000 coins on depreciation and another 20 to 30,000 coins on tax. I've literally almost lost his whole value just by buying and selling him so many times. It's idiotic. And going forwards, and I've started to do this, which is why a lot of people say, why don't you try this player, and why don't you do this, and why don't you do that? A lot of the reasons is because right now the team that I've got is good enough. It is 100% good enough. There are still some small things here that I would like to change. I would like a better left back, but not because I feel Gael Clichy is bad, but just because I feel, you know, an upgraded version of a left back would be incredible. So hopefully we'll get a Team of the Week Clichy on Wednesday. I wouldn't mind changing one of my outside midfielders to someone who's an attacking midfielder. I'm contemplating putting Diego Costa back in the team for Chadley. Not that there's anything wrong with the 3 midfielders. The problem I find myself having in the really tough games, obviously in the games where I'm a better player, I kind of come through those anyway. On occasion, I'll lose them. But when I find myself up against the really good players and the really tough games, the ones that define whether or not you get to Elite 1 or not, I always found either Chan or Chadley just lacking the pace and or the skills to do what I need them to do, you know? Because they're the outside of the 2 wide men and my formation is so narrow, they quite often like loop over the wide men. They quite often loop over Walcott and Son. So I need someone, at least one person, and preferably the right centre mid, because that's you'll see through my gameplay. I typically go down the right hand side. All of my play starts down the right hand side. It might end on the left hand side like it just did there with Balassi, but typically speaking, it starts through the right. We'll take a look at the next goal, the next clip, and we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? But I find myself constantly using Bellerin, Chadli. And in fact, you see Costa on the side there, Walcott and my striker. I find myself using that side of the field more. So I want to get someone else in that spot that is going to do both an incredible offensive job and an incredible defensive job. And I don't want it to be a medium work rate player. So I'm either going to put Costa back in the team or Firmino back in the team and kind of give that another go. But basically, in terms of coins, I'm an idiot. I'm just an idiot. I just waste coins, man. I waste so many coins, which is frustrating. Now, there's been a lot of talk still. You know, the whole handicap scripting momentum thing is just blowing up, and it's actually quite frustrating to deal with. Like, I used to see tweets and images and stuff of people all the time, but people are literally sending me a tweet with a game where it's like 50-50 possession, and they had 9 shots, and their opponent had 6 shots, and they lost 3-0, and they're like, oh my god, scripting. That's not proof of anything, man. That's just proof that you bottled it. One thing that you'll find me trying to do in these games is understand what goes wrong so that I can fix it going forwards, right? There was a few games that I'll lose, not this episode, I actually won all 10 games this episode, but there are a few games I'll lose in the coming episodes where I have my chances, and because I'm feeling the pressure of doing incredibly well, and that adds pressure to me. On top of the fact that FUTChamps Weekend League is just stressful in itself. And then on top of the fact, if I ever go 1-0 down, I melt. I just melt down. I'm like, oh my god, my life is over. And it gets that serious during that game. And it's crazy because it is just a video game. But what happens is, I start doing things that I wouldn't normally do. And this is where people find scripting, momentum, and handicap. Of course, you are going to get unlucky from time to time. There will be a game where you are just dominating and you just can't find that right shot. And then your opponent will take that one counter-attack, they'll score from it, and you'll feel like, oh my god, like, this game is against me. But those aren't the times where the game is against you. Look at this, my next goal again, down the right-hand side. Bella into Walcott, Walcott to Chadli, Chadli into Alexis Sanchez, Sanchez with a shot, and then the rebound falls to Hazard. That was super lucky to get back into the game line. But one of the things that I do, like, I remember a game, one of my last few games, I was 1-0 down, and I got into a position to score with Rashford, who I brought on as a sub, and 99 times out of 100 in any game, in any situation, I would hit a low-driven shot to the near corner, and of those 99 times that I hit that low-driven shot, 98 times out of those 99 times it would go in, and then on one occasion it will either hit the post, go wide, or the keeper will save it. So I'm in a position to score a goal, just like I scored there with Sanchez, that I get into that position so many times, and do you know what I did? Instead of having a shot, I wiggled my little right thumbstick and I tried to do a step over and cut inside so I could hit a finesse shot to the far post. And I did that because I was panicking because I was 1-0 down. Now, a lot of people do things like that and not realise that they've done something different and blame the game. That was not the game's fault. I was in a perfect scoring opportunity chance and I fluffed it because I fluffed it. The amount of times I can see goals and don't score goals because of my stupidity is obscene. So yeah, like I spoke about this before. Going forwards, I want to take like people's gameplay and have a look at it, and I might do it on my main channel just to like kind of like watch someone's game and try and figure out and point out what I think they've done wrong. I'm by no means the best player in FIFA. You know, there's a lot of pros out there that are incredible that may also do this sort of thing. But for me, I'm an entertainer that has good knowledge of the game and is good at the game. I'm not great at the game, you know. If I was great at the game, I'd be able to get 34 plus wins every weekend. I buckle so many times. I have problems in the game as well, just like anyone else. But I feel like I can see where things go right and things go wrong, even if I can't apply that own knowledge of my, you know, my own knowledge there. But I feel like I can see where it goes wrong. So I'm very like tempted to try and take people's gameplay and basically dissect it and give them tips, hints, and advice on where they're going wrong or where they're going right and could use doing that more. Because when I watch some people stream, like I watch a guy stream and he averages gold 1, right? And that's not bad. Gold 1 is great. I get gold 1 quite a lot of times. You know, we do get elite most weeks, but I get gold 1 quite a lot of times. And what he does this really good thing with the way he does 1-2 quick passing, but he only gets into that groove when he's winning. And I feel like telling him, dude, when you're not winning as well, do the same thing because it works for you. But when he's losing, like me, he starts panicking. He starts playing long balls. He starts playing chip through balls. He starts playing like a load of crap and just like conceit. Like mentally, this game is what beats you or you win with. Especially if you feel like you're at like a good skill level. There are always certain things you can improve on here or there. You know, learning a broken game mechanic or two. Like this weekend, I've been trying to figure out. I played Division 1 after I played this weekend league, and I was trying to like use the L1 sprint boost. I was trying to incorporate the backwards dribbling a little bit more in my game, and I was taking some losses to try and learn it. But I'm trying to learn it because if I can master it, it will make me a better player. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about that. Anyway, guys, I got a whole bunch of comments. Of course, the first comment is from CW Pooch. He says, "Hey Nep, can we see a game against Nick's poor man Road to Glory?" I mean, probably, yeah, at one point or another, but one thing that I don't like, and I think Nick would agree if he heard this comment and carried on, is although there are very much similarities in myself and Nick's performances and in the series in general, you know, they are both Road to Glories where there is no money spent, the comparison between myself and Nick gives a competitiveness that just isn't there. I'm not competing in this series to do better than Nick or to do worse than Nick. Do I reference it? Sure. Like everyone does. You know, you see another person, like just in the same way that I reference myself against Fuji's Road to Glory. But at the moment we play a game against each other, it then causes a divide between viewerships, and that's not good. You know, you can say Nick does this better because he's got more coins, or Nep does this better because he's finished elite like more times than Nick, and that's fine because that's like, you know, your opinion. But if we actually had a game and somebody came out on top, it would divide the fans to a point where it would start becoming me against Nick in a series, you know, and that's not what my series is about, and I believe that that's not what Nick's series is about. Nick isn't competing against me, he's not competing against you or any other, you know, bang average Joe that does a poor man's Road to Glory or any other YouTuber that does a poor man's Road to Glory. That's not who Nick's competing against. Nick's competing against himself to bring you guys the best content that he can bring. And I'm competing against myself to bring you guys the best content that I can bring. So although I wouldn't mind having a game against Nick, I would want it to be under circumstances where there's essentially nothing on the line. You know, I wouldn't want it to be a competitive, like, oh my god, he won, therefore his series is the best, therefore the other person's series is shit, and it's just concern. That is my concern about playing Nick. As you know, I've played Bateson on this account, I've played Marshall on this account, I've played IG Sturridge, the #1 Xbox guy last week on this account. I'm not scared to play against people. I want to do it for the right reasons, and it seems like you guys want me to do it because you want to see whose is better. And it's not about whose is better, you know. That's my opinion. Pedro Mendez says, "Hi Nep, do you think there's going to be an SBC or a special card with like 99 shooting for the PUTChamps award? Keep up the great work. Sorry for my English." No, I don't think there will be. You know, I don't even think like sometimes the PUTChamps winner isn't even in FIFA. Wasn't it last year or the year before? Didn't a woman, like a female, won the goal of the year? So I don't think they'll do anything with Ultimate Team with the PUTChamps award. And apologies if I said that wrong. The Real Desai Jr. says, "Can you please stop dabbing?" No, I will not stop dabbing. It's just a celebration. And on that note, if people get frustrated with it, that's good for me. You know, I see some comments in the comment section about me when I used to complain about celebrations, and I did used to complain about celebrations. You know why? Because I let it get to me and I let it bother me. In my quest to become a better FIFA player, to get to top 100 in FUTChamps, I had to start really evaluating what was the reason I was losing some games and how to fix it. And one of the reasons I would genuinely lose games is because I would lose my cool when somebody did a dickish celebration to me. You know, at times I'd concede a goal in FIFA 15 and FIFA 16 and draft or whatever, and someone would shush me, and it would just rile me up. It would get me angry, and it would make me play different, and it would make me lose composure, and eventually I would probably go on to lose that game, and I'd leave that game feeling unbelievably frustrated. So what I started doing is stopped caring about the celebration, and I urge you guys to stop caring about the celebrations too, because it is just a celebration. if you feel like your opponent's trying to wind you up during celebrations, just pop your controller down, just go and grab yourself a glass of water or go and walk around the room a second and come back and just wash it out of your mind and come back a better person. Interestingly, in one of my games, one of my last few games, I needed like a set amount of wins to get to the next target, and it was like the 88th minute or something, and I gave away a penalty that I just didn't give away. Right, I was so angry. 88th minute. If I lose this game, it's over for me. And so I gave away the penalty, and I put my control down, and I just walked over to the room just out of frustration because I couldn't look at the screen, and I was like, oh man, like how have I given away a penalty there? I literally just span out my chair and walked away. Usually you get the replay of the penalty, the card, the rigmarole, the player standing up. I was turned away for like 7 seconds, 6 seconds, maybe even 5 seconds. I turned around and came back and sat in my chair. The keeper's standing there with the ball, man. He actually for some reason, he skipped the replays. Boom, he doesn't care, he doesn't want to see that crap. He wanted to get his goal and get on with it. I turned around, my goalkeeper standing with a penalty, so he literally took the penalty down the middle, and I just saved it for not even being there. And the reason why I got up and walked away is because I'm trying to clear myself, clear my head. I want to give myself the best opportunity, which is ironic because last night playing, I let my nerves get the better of me, and I lost my composure very, very many times. But for me, the celebrations used to frustrate me, and I got over it because it's just a celebration in a game. It's not anything that's worth threatening over, right? So now I do it because if it does make someone get angry, that's better for me because it means that I'm going to be able to create more chances and score more goals against them. So if you're the kind of person that gets agitated over a celebration, perhaps you should also consider, like myself, stop worrying about a celebration when it's scored and start worrying about working on your gameplay to not let the opponent score in the first place. And again, that is indeed just my opinion, but I think it's a very fair opinion. I think if you do get angry at the celebrations, you need to work on yourself a little bit more, and that's exactly what I did. I worked on myself a little bit more. The next comment is from Afri337. Says, hey, Neb, do you think it's worth investing in players like NepentheZ or Oscar because they went to China and will be out of packs? By the way, love the series, keep up the great work. Well, thank you for the kind words, dude, and no, I don't. NepentheZ, most definitely not, because he's not a desirable player anyway. He's in an okay nation for FUT. I'm definitely not questioning Argentina as a real-life nation, but in Ultimate Team, he's in an okay nation to use, and he's in a horrendous league to use. So people don't even go for NepentheZ anyway. So him being out of packs, it's not going to change much. Oscar, you may think, yeah, maybe just because the few 83s that are in the game are relevant for SBCs, that eventually his price and he as a person is going to get dumped in a whole bunch of these SBCs and could potentially go up in price. But bear in mind, he does have a 10k price cap, and if you bought a whole bunch for like 4 or 5k and he went up to 6, 7k, I don't know if I'd risk it personally. So I would say ultimately no, I don't think it's worth it, but it's entirely up to you. Now we end up winning this last game here, guys, of this episode to go 19-1 after our first 20 games. I've played against some really good opponents. I lost one game that I deserved to lose to a really good opponent. And, we've edged out. I was falling on the right side of the close games. And that's important. I say that every week. I always say, I feel like I'm this close to being able to do it. And this weekend was the weekend that I was doing it. I was getting on the right side of those close games. I was 19-1 right now. I could quite easily have been 16-4 or 15-5. But I managed to carve out some wins of games that were really difficult. Games where I was 2-0 down or 1-0 down late on. And I just managed to pull it back every single time because I kept my composure, I was playing good FIFA, and I was just having fun with the team that I was playing with. So we end up 19-1. This is my best ever start in FUTChamps, and I will be happy to hopefully move on and pick up like 35, 36 wins this weekend league. This though, guys, is indeed going to be the end of the episode. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.